let us first we see just the introduction part of this single phase AC circuits. Sinusoidal wave, a sinusoidal wave is represented in this figure. If you look at this figure, is like this. So is the fundamental alternating current or alternating voltage waveform. This has a alternating voltage or current it is. See in this graph, the x-axis is taken as time base, and whereas y-axis may be a voltage or current. Now, if you look at the sinusoidal wave or the alternating current wave, AC wave we say it is a wave which is continuously changing with time, and it has both positive maximum and negative maximums at these points. Right, these waves will have a positive maximum and a negative maximum at these 2 points here. That is initially, as the time is increasing, the voltage or current, whatever it is increasing and attains a maximum value. And after that, it tries to decrease and once again come to zero after some time here. And even after that time, if you still time is increasing, then the current or voltage will come to the negative portion, that is here, right? And it attains a negative maximum at this point. And once again, after attaining the negative maximum, it decreases to zero like this. And this entire thing we called as having a positive and a negative of this wave is called as alternating current. So that is why the name has been given as alternating. That is, the quantity is to be alternate. So that is, up to one time period it is positive, and after the other time it is negative here. So see here in this diagram, up to here, in this diagram up to here, see here, suppose the total time here up to here it is t. If you say it is t, total time period t is this, and at a t by 2, up to t by 2, it is having a positive values only, and another t by 2, another portion of t by 2, another portion of the t by 2 is having a negative. So this is a positive values. So either it is a voltage or current will have only positive during this t by 2 time period, and during the other portion of the t by 2 time period, it is having a negative values, and this sort of waveform is called as an sinusoidal waveform or alternating current or voltage waveforms. So electrical sine waves are named from the mathematical function with the same shape. ఎందుకంటే దీనికి sinusoidal waveform ఎందుకు అలా వచ్చిందంటే మనకి sinusoidal function, this wave is representing a sinusoidal function. So that is why the name has been given as sinusoidal waveform for this one. So a wave is a disturbance. So a wave is a disturbance unlike water waves. So electrical waves cannot be seen directly, but they have similar characteristics like this. So in a water, if you put a droplet here, so what will happen? It gives you some waves, right? So all these waves are all periodic waves, can be constructed from sine waves only, which is why sine wave are the fundamental waves, right? Now then the question arises, what is meant by a periodic wave? Now if you look at this previous diagram, periodic wave is a wave where it is the same cycle of positive and negative portion is repeated. When it is repeated, it is called as a periodic, right? So now sinusoidal waveform is a periodic. The same cycle will be repeated like this. Sine waves are characterized by the amplitude and period. So the amplitude is the maximums. So every sinusoidal waveform or alternating voltage or current waveform is characterized by amplitude and period. So what is meant by an amplitude here? It is amplitude is the maximum value of a voltage or current. So in this waveform, suppose if you take this is a voltage waveform, this is a voltage wave. If this is a voltage wave, then the maximum value of voltage, that is A here. See here, this is the maximum, positive maximum it is. So this we call it as the amplitude. So therefore the amplitude in this diagram, the amplitude A of this sine wave is 20 volts. If you look at this diagram, it is around 20 volts like this. Then the period is the time interval. Period is the time interval for one complete cycle. So cycle means it is a repetitive portion of any wave or any quantity is called as a cycle. So it repeat out the same. That is one positive half cycle, another one negative portion. One positive portion and another negative portion is repeated in this one. And this we called as one positive portion and one negative portion of a sinusoidal waveform is called a cycle, right? And the time period here is given by t here, as I mentioned earlier also. Now for this example, time period 50 microseconds. So time is taken as microseconds. Therefore the time period of this one is 50 microseconds, the total time period to complete one positive and one negative half cycle. Time period is the time to complete one positive and one negative half cycle of a sinusoidal waveform is called as time period, right? ఇక్కడ చూడండి, దీనికి ఒక positive half cycle, ఇదంతా ఒక positive half cycle. This is all one positive half cycle, and this is another positive half cycle, right? So to complete this one positive and one negative half cycle of a sinusoidal waveform, the time taken to complete it is called as a time period, right? ఒక positive half cycle complete చేయడానికి how much time it is taking? It is taking 25 microseconds, and exactly half of the time it is taking, right? Now the period of sine wave can be measured between any two corresponding points on the waveform. So how do we measure this period or the time period of any sinusoidal waveform? Here it is. So when you want to measure the time period of any sinusoidal waveform, so it is measured between the two corresponding points. And suppose if you take a corresponding, the first corresponding point is here 0 point ఇక్కడ తీసుకున్నారనుకోండి, నెక్స్ట్ sinusoidal waveform ఎక్కడ 0 వస్తుందో అది తీసుకోవాలి, దాని కరస్పాండింగ్ పాయింట్ ఇది. అంటే ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యన ఇది సెకండ్ పాయింట్. సో ఈ రెండు పాయింట్ మధ్యన ఉండేదాన్ని మనం, రైట్? కానీ ఇక్కడ మీరు చూస్తే దిస్ ఈజ్ 0, we got it, but it is increasing negatively, right? Ikkada this point is referred to 0, but it is increasing positively. Appudu vanchayat entante total time period తీసుకునేటప్పుడు ఇది తీసుకోకుండా ఏం చేయాలి? What we have to do, we have to take here this point. This point we have to take as the second point for finding time period. Therefore, this point is also similar to this point. ఈ పాయింట్ కి ఇది సిమిలర్ గా ఉంది. this point ki similar these two are same. This point is 0 and it is increasing positively, and this point is also 0 but it is increasing positively, whereas this point is 0 but it is not increasing positively, it is increasing negatively, that is decreasing. So this point we should not take it for finding the time period. Therefore the time period we should take either these two same points, ఇది రెండింటి మధ్య ఉండేదాన్ని time period అంటారు. అలా కాకుండా you can also take the time period into other things here also. Take maximum value, suppose amplitude ఇది maximum, positive maximum this is. So దీని పాజిటివ్ మాక్సిమం దగ్గర నుంచి మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ పాజిటివ్ మాక్సిమం ఎక్కడ వస్తుందో చూడాలి. అక్కడ వరకు అక్కడ ఉండే ఇది ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ అనుకుంటే, దిస్ ఇస్ సెకండ్ పాయింట్ అనుకుంటే, ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యన ఉండే డిస్టెన్స్ ని, మెజర్ డిస్టెన్స్ ని ఏమంటారు, ఇస్ టైం పీరియడ్ అని అంటారు. సో అలాగే టూ సేమ్ పాయింట్స్ మధ్య ఉండే టూ సేమ్ కరెస్పాండింగ్ పాయింట్స్ మధ్య ఉండే డిస్టెన్స్ ని ఇస్ పీరియడ్ ఆర్ టైం పీరియడ్ అని అంటాం, రైట్. దెన్ ది అనదర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టర్మ్ హియర్ ఇస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు ద sinusoidal waveform is frequency. So frequency is defined is the number of cycles that a sine wave completes in 1 second. ఇందాక మనం సైకిల్ గురించి చెప్పుకున్నాం. సైకిల్ is the time taken by any sinusoidal or any quantity or any waveform, periodic waveform, to complete one positive portion and one negative portion is called as the time period and or cycle. So ఈ సైకిల్ ఇలాంటిది sinusoidal waveforms ఒక sinusoidal ఒక సెకండ్ ఎన్ని సైకిల్స్ వచ్చేదాన్ని చెప్పేదాన్ని ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అని అంటాం. సో దిస్ ఈస్ that is representing. So frequency is nothing but the number of cycles that a sinusoidal wave or a sine wave completes in 1 second, and generally it is measured in hertz. సో జనరల్గా మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూస్తే మీరు ఇక్కడ చూడండి, దిస్ ఇస్ ద టోటల్ 1 సెకండ్, టోటల్ 1 సెకండ్ టైం తీసుకున్నాం. ఈ 1 సెకండ్ టైంకి చూడండి ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి హౌ మెనీ సైకిల్స్ ఇట్ ఇస్ కంప్లీటింగ్. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి 1 సెకండ్ టైం ఈ sinusoidal waveform, హౌ మెనీ సైకిల్స్ వీఆర్ కంప్లీటింగ్ హియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ ఒక సైకిల్, దిస్ ఇస్ 1 సైకిల్, మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి అనదర్ సైకిల్, and ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి another cycle, right? Therefore this sinusoidal waveform is completing 3 cycles in 1 second. Therefore the frequency of the sinusoidal waveform is 3 hertz. So likewise the frequency is measured of a sequence of a sinusoidal waveform is measured in this manner. So generally one frequency is given by this. The period and frequency are reciprocals of each other. So f is equal to 1 by t, where t is the time period and f is the frequency, or t is equal to 1 by f. Thus if you know one, you can easily find the other, right? So if the period is 50, so take this example here, if the period is 50 microseconds, then what is the frequency? Frequency would be 20 kilohertz. So now these are about the fundamental things related to the sinusoidal waveform, right? Now